It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
Stuart Grant for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100K.
Gonna be Igor Beretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
It has been a while, been since September of 2020 since we've seen the Turkey Hill National Series on the track, but today they are back on the track, and this time for preseason Thunder testing for the first time ever in the Turkey Hill National Series. This is preseason Thunder from Homestead Miami Speedway in the Turkey Hill National Series, season number 6. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and even though the season hasn't officially started, in a way, it does kind of start today as we begin the season with preseason Thunder testing, a 45-minute practice session here for the Turkey Hill National Series, just to get to know all these drivers that are going to be running here in the 6th season of the Turkey Hill National Series. And of course, in this same video later on, we will have ourselves preseason Thunder for the NOFSRL Cup Series as well. So a big night here on this Friday night leading up to next weekend when we run the Mellow Yellow Smooth Fest right here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. It's going to be a great show next weekend when we hit the track here around Homestead, but today, get to know everybody who's going to be driving this season in both series, kind of get to see where everyone moved around from last season, kind of get an idea of the schedule and everything, just have a good time and enjoy ourselves for a little bit before we get to the serious stuff here in the NOFSRL for 2021. But as you can see, we got cars already on the racetrack here. 45-minute session. And just get an idea of the cars and everything. We have a new car this year for the Turkey Hill National Series. Last year we used the higher downforce 2016 Xfinity car. We're moving to the 2020 Xfinity car this year. Lower downforce package for these guys in 2021. They're going to be a lot more like the Cup guys. And not only that, I think these cars look a lot sexier as well. Obviously, you can tell right there, a lot of Fords. The Fords and the Toyotas especially have a very good look to them. And this Ford in particular, we're going to talk about a lot of the driver changes this year as well. We got some new guys who are completely true rookies to Napa Fan this season in the Turkey Hill National Series, but we also have some guys who have been around since the very first race, including this driver, Trey Bartow, in the number 54. Of course, obviously last year was his final season in the NOFSRL Cup Series, driving the number 4 machine for Titan Fury Motorsports. This season, however, he is back behind the wheel. Apologize about that right there. Back behind the wheel in the Turkey Hill National Series for Velocistar Racing, and we're definitely excited. He's actually going to be a part owner of this team in 2021, especially on the Cup side there with Matt Tuck, and he'll be driving full-time this season in the Turkey Hill National Series, the only past champion of this series who will be running this season in that number 54. Obviously, we know about Trey Bartow, one of the longest-running drivers on Napa Fan, drove the number 4 in every season of the NOFSRL Cup Series heading into last season, and of course, not going to be in that 4 in the Cup Series this season, but he's going to also be driving regardless in that number 54. Definitely looking forward to seeing him. Another guy who's actually had a full Cup season under his belt, right alongside him there, that is Dan Park in the number 32. Great to see Dan Park back in the main series of Napa Fan that we run. Of course, he's been running in trucks for a couple of years, but great to see him in the Turkey Hill National Series there. It's going to be his first season in Turkey Hill National, but did run, I believe, all the way back in Season 4 of the NOFSRL Cup Series back in 2016. Number 88 there, that is Scott Upton. Going to be driving the number 88 machine for Fisher G Racing. Of course, Scott Upton had a win in the Truck Series earlier this year. Definitely looking forward to see him move up in the ranks here on Napa Fan. Going to be exciting to see what that number 88 machine can do. And another driver here, Isaac Nichols, who's had a lot of experience. He's run 2 full seasons in Cup. Going to be his first time out here in the Turkey Hill National Series driving for Hair Gel Motorsports. So just a few of the guys that we got here in the Turkey Hill National Series this year. A lot of drivers who have never run in this series before, and other drivers who have run multiple seasons in this series before, including John Anders. It's going to be his second season there in the number 11 machine. Unfortunately, just had an engine problem, but hey, it's just preseason Thunder testing. Doesn't really mean too much right now. even though it doesn't mean too much, we'll go ahead and tell you who's fastest. That's Justin Zeidel, who's got the fastest time here in Preseason Thunder right now for Fisher G Racing, going to be Scott Upton's teammate on this team. Of course, Zeidel, this is his second season in the Turkey Hill National Series. Zeidel did not drive last year in this series, but as a team owner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, he moved over here to drive for 2021. It's going to be very exciting to see what Zeidel can do, because he's definitely one of the more experienced drivers in this season of the Turkey Hill National Series. We've got a lot of guys who have a lot of experience, and we'll touch on them as we go through. A couple guys here, though, who are true rookies to Napa Fan. This is the number 98 of BB Ruiz for Nanaco Racing, driving what will be his first career Napa Fan start next Saturday night here at the Homestead Miami Speedway. So that'll definitely get interesting to see what he can do in that number 98 machine. Another guy in the reverse number, the number 89 of Colin Teague, who will be driving for Ryan Racing here in 2021. Ryan Benjamin owning a team this season in the Turkey Hill National Series. Definitely excited to see what he can bring to the table there in that number 89 machine. Another guy who we have not seen, I don't think he's ever run a series on Napa Fan before, but he has been part of the shootout, the Junior Johnson Memorial Shootout the past couple of years. RJ Bishop. I'm very intrigued to see what this team's going to do. This is Smith Motorsports, Trey Smith's team. Trey Smith, the defending champion of the series, obviously moved up into the Cup Series for 2021. So we're going to have to see what his team can do this year. Definitely looking forward to see what they got in store. But RJ Bishop, a very solid driver in that shootout, came close to winning it both years. Unfortunately, never got a chance to do so. And unfortunately, this year in 2021, we do have no plans of running that event, unfortunately. But we'll have to see what we find out later on in the year. But great to see RJ in this series, and 32 races for him to get a Napa Fan win. Daniel Bouchard, this is another guy we have not seen in a very long time. Drove in Season 6 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series in 2017. He is driving for the newly formed Logan Sport, the team owned by Logan Williams, who was another driver who ran in Turkey Hill National last year. Definitely excited to see what Bouchard brings to the table in the number 7 machine, as he had won a couple of races in that Season 6 of the NOFSRL Cup Series. Definitely excited to see how well he does this season. Prince Racing, this team I'm very intrigued to talk about, because they definitely hit the upgrade button on those paint schemes this year. Of course, huge thanks to Matt Chuck for painting a few of these schemes for us. He painted this one, the Best Water Technology number 82 machine, driven by Blake Parker. Not a true rookie to Napa Fan. Blake Parker ran in the Thanksgiving 500 last year, but this will be his first ever series on Napa Fan. Definitely intrigued to see what he can do. And the same goes for the driver right behind him of Aiden McCrow. Both of these drivers made their first career starts on Napa Fan in the Thanksgiving 500 last November, and they'll be running full-time this season in the Turkey Hill National Series. This is a driver who's, interestingly, a rookie to the Turkey Hill National Series, but far from being a rookie on Napa Fan. As a matter of fact, one of the more legendary drivers on the channel. This is Audra Baranowskis, multiple-time winner in the Haas IndyCar Series, including in Indianapolis 250, and this team in particular has a lot of very nice ties to the Haas IndyCar Series. EEL Racing, Ethan Lewis, bringing his IndyCar team over here to Turkey Hill National. I'd imagine he's going to keep his IndyCar team as well once we get to that later on in the year. But Audra Baranowskis, an Indianapolis 250 champion here, driving the number 12. Her first full season in the Turkey Hill National Series. She's driven in trucks the past few years, so she has a lot of stock racing experience. Definitely looking forward to see what Baranowskis brings to the table here in 2021. It's John Andrews, like we mentioned, second full-time season here in the Turkey Hill National Series. Also ran a full-time season in the NOFSRL Cup Series back in season number 8. He moves over to Nanaco Racing this year, replacing Landon Smith Jr., so we're definitely intrigued to see what he can do in that number 11 machine. That was the last car that won here in the Turkey Hill National Series when Landon Smith Jr. brought that number 11 to victory lane at Darlington when Landon Smith's brother won the championship. And speaking of brothers, driving for his brother's team is Andrew Williams, now making the move up to the Turkey Hill National Series. Ran in trucks this past fall, and here he is on his brother's Logan Sport team, driving the number 17, and his teammate right there, Mitchell Collins, who won at Daytona the second time around last year. So Collins back for his second full-time season in the Turkey Hill National Series, going to be a teammate there to Daniel Bouchard and Andrew Williams. Number 62, Christian Vargas, going to be his second full-time season here in the Turkey Hill National Series. And remember, he won Watkins Glen last year. And good news for Vargas, considering he's good on the road courses, we're going to have 3 road course races this season in the Turkey Hill National Series. As a matter of fact, I'm wrong about that. We're going to have 4 because we have 2 races at Willow Springs. Going to be running there for the first time ever here on Napa Fan. Should definitely be intriguing to see how that all goes down once we get those events underway. I'll also be running at Road America again. I'm going to bring that race back. And, of course, Watkins Glen, as always, for the Lake Effect Ice Cream Super Weekend in August. How about this one? And while he may be making his first ever Napa Fam start, this guy is a legend in the NOFSRL, more specifically the Body Armor Cup Series, Dustin Davis, however you want to call him, in the number 63 for Hair Gel Motorsports. Definitely intrigued to see what Dustin Davis brings to the table here on the Napa Fan side of things. Obviously, he's running the Body Armor Cup Series over on Matt's channel. Definitely recommend next weekend you check out the race after the Smooth Fest on Matt's channel, as they got the Miami Nights 500 right after we're done with the track on February 5th, right? February 5th? Yes, February 5th. That's the exact date. We got a 3Y battle going on here. We got 2 newcomers and one guy who's been around for a little bit, but you haven't seen him in a while. That's the number 25 of Joey Hightower, who has run in the IndyCar Series before, but this is the first time he has run in the Turkey Hill National Series. Great to see him back driving for Fisher G Racing right there. Going to be teammate to Justin Zaidel and Scott Upton. And a couple of first-timers. Of course, Ethan Farley isn't particularly a first-timer, not a true rookie. He did make his first career start in the Thanksgiving 500. He'll be driving for Pacific Racing, which is Brady Wilmington's team. Great to see him start his own team here. This is the remnants of the Railfan Motorsports team from last year that Brady took over midway through the season. They switched to Toyota, and they're looking pretty strong right here. You got the 00 there, Ethan Farley. Just ahead of him, Priya McShane. Going to be our first career Napa Fan start next Saturday night here from Homestead, driving for Smith Motorsports, a teammate to RJ Bishop. And definitely intrigued to see what she brings to the table. Don't know too much about this driver, but lots of times those first-timers do very well in their debut events. Obviously, with equal ratings, anything is possible. Got a lot of guys in this little group right here. Ben Crouch in the number 44, who as far as I know has never made a start on Napa Fan before. I've called a lot of races that he's been in before over in the TRN side and things like that, but I believe this is going to be his first ever Napa Fan start. Great to see him there driving for NS Racing, Nathan Stapleton's team. Definitely intrigued to see how it all goes down for those guys this season. Ashland Boyd, here's a veteran of the Turkey Hill National Series. This is going to be Boyd's 3rd straight season in this series. Driving number 65 for Pacific Racing. This is a guy, if you want to have a solid driver on your team, this is a guy you want to have on your team. Ashland Boyd, been around for a long time, knows his way around the racetrack here on Napa Fan. Here's another true rookie to Napa Fan, number 66 machine, I should say. This was the car that won the championship last year when Trey Smith was driving him, and now we got a completely new driver behind the wheel, and Declan Wellington Turner. Not related to Jesse Turner, but still, if you got Turner in your name, you got to be pretty good. And obviously, jumping into the ride that won this championship last year for North State Racing and Davey Johnson, definitely intrigued to see what he brings to the table this season in the Turkey Hill National Series. Josh Williamson, his 2nd season in the Turkey Hill National Series. He's an owner in the NOFSRL Cup Series this year, so he was ineligible to drive over there. That's the correct terminology for that. But he joins my team, Otter Island Motorsports, for season number 6 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill National Series. And his teammate, great to see this guy back, Julio Caesar, the number 79. It's been since 2019 since he's run here on Napa Fan. And then he ran part-time in the NOFSRL Cup Series, but he has run a full season of Cup before, so he's got a lot of experience. And he is in a pretty good ride as well. The Otter Island team, a very established team here on Napa Fan, obviously because it's my team. My team is the best team. I'm just kidding. Obviously, we already talked about Trey Bartow, but Trey Bartow's so awesome, we're going to talk about him again. Like I said, going to be a part owner of Velocitar Racing. The thing about Bartow this season, though, along with all these other guys, we've yet to mention this yet here in Preseason Thunder, the Turkey Hill Hot Seat. 36 drivers in this field are eligible for, and Bartow could have been eligible, but he declined the offer. So he will not be making any NOFSRL Cup Series starts this season. Bartow declined the Turkey Hill Hot Seat, so that will be 36 drivers going for them. Now, for next week's race, for the AutoNation 300, the top 8 finishers, top 8 eligible finishers, I should say. So if Bartow, Williamson, Zaidel, or Noah Clifton finish inside that top 8, they don't count, and it just gets pushed back a little bit. But top 8 eligible finishers for next week's race will qualify to attempt the Daytona 500. They will attempt, of course, in these 8 uncharted rides. But beginning with the race afterwards, each driver is assigned to a group, and whoever finishes highest in that group in a Turkey Hill National Series race will attempt the next week's NOFSRL Cup Series race in their respective uncharted ride. If you want to know where all those groups are, go to the NOFSRL Discord. We got that pinned, I should say, hopefully pinned, in the Turkey Hill National Series chat. And that will only apply for races after Homestead. Will not apply for Homestead because the top 8 finishers, regardless, will qualify and attempt for the Daytona 500. They don't qualify automatically. They got to race their way in, of course. But we're definitely looking forward to see who gets in those uncharted rides for the Great American Race 2 weeks from this weekend. Will Parrish, going to be a first-time driver on Napa Fan, driving for the winningest owner on Napa Fan, Derek Hamill. This is Go Neum Racing. Will Parrish, a rookie driver to Napa Fan, but he is paired up with a very, very experienced driver. We'll get to him in a moment. Joshua Harrison, another first-timer here to Napa Fan, driving for Angel Racing. Definitely intrigued to see what Joshua Harrison brings to the table. We don't know much about this driver at all, but he's got a lot of potential, as do all these first-timers. And speaking of potential, how great is it to see this guy back behind the wheel? Great to see him back in general. Obviously, we kind of all know the fallout that happened last September. Well, hey, we've come to good terms. Marty's back in the server. Marty's back behind the wheel in one of these Napa Fan rides, and he'll be driving for Velocity Racing, going to be a teammate to Trey Bartow. Marty Johnson in the number 53. This is Marty's second Turkey Hill National Series season. His first came quite a ways ago. I think it may have been the season Bartow won the championship in 2016, the last time Marty Johnson ran here in the Turkey Hill National Series. But nonetheless, so excited to have Marty back in a series, back racing in the series. He's not an owner anymore in the NOFSRL Cup Series, so he'll actually be part of the Turkey Hill Hot Seat, so definitely intrigued to see how that all goes down with Marty in 2021. Brayden Perez, last time we were here on Napa Fan a couple weeks ago, he was in Victory Lane celebrating his race victory in the New Era 259. Might be a good omen for him next week when we open up the season here for the Turkey Hill National Series. Brayden Perez driving for Angel Racing, teammate to Joshua Harrison. Definitely intrigued to see what he brings to the table. Definitely the most experienced driver on this team as well, with all the experience he had in the trucks this year. The other two guys he's teammates with have never made an Napa Fan start prior to this season. So we're definitely intrigued to see how that all goes down for those guys in 2021. We mentioned the other teammate to Audra Baranowskis being an Indianapolis 250 champion. That is Luke Rainey. And interestingly enough, this is Rainey's first ever run in the Turkey Hill National Series. He did run a full-time Cup season back in whenever that was, 2018, I do believe. I actually won the last ever NRLOA race back when all my stuff was in the NRLOA at this very racetrack. So that could be a good omen for him next week. And speaking of good omens, we mentioned Will Parrish having a very strong team. And this is two-time Cup Series champion Elijah Gordon, the teammate to Will Parrish at Go Neum Racing in the number 35. Obviously, Elijah Gordon, one of the strongest drivers in Napa Fan history. No doubt about it. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the 2021 season here for Turkey Hill National. If you can beat Elijah Gordon, you're a pretty darn good driver. Let's just put it that way. Noah Clifton, one of the ineligible drivers for the Turkey Hill Hot Seat, as he is an owner in the NOFSRL Cup Series, owns the team that owner Nathan Stapleton drives for in the Cup Series. So they kind of swap off. The same thing kind of happens with Justice Idell and Fisher G, which is pretty cool. But Noah Clifton in the number 46 machine, driving for NS Racing. Second time in this exact ride. Actually stuck with the team. Not many guys stuck with the same team, if any, actually, this season in the Turkey Hill National Series. There's a lot of moving around, but I think this may be the one driver who remained in the same ride from the prior year. I think he is the one driver who did that. So, and in NOFSRL Cup, it stays the same from year to year for a lot of drivers. Here, it does not do that. It's like a completely different set of guys. This is one guy who ran last year, but in a different ride. Landon Smith Jr., going to be teammate to Trey Bartow and Marty Johnson. Obviously, Landon Smith Jr. won the last race we had here in the Turkey Hill National Series. Definitely intrigued to see what Landon Smith Jr. brings to the table for Velocity Racing in 2021. Obviously, he is a veteran at this point, so he's got a lot of experience, and his teammates are Marty Johnson and Trey frickin' Bartow. So those guys are going to be styled there for Lost Star Racing. You know, Matt always goes for the best. I mean, he's got 2 Cup champions over in NOFSRL Cup. And, of course, like I mentioned, once we're done here for Turkey Hill National preseason Thunder testing, we go to Cup right after this in the same video. So stick around and a lot of great stuff. Hopefully we'll have a couple co-commentators for Cup when we get to it here in just about half an hour here on Napa Fan, on AT Racing. That's the new name. I'm still Napa Fan, though. I always will be. Number 52, Renan Isip, or should I say Renan Isip, excuse me. Thank you for letting me know how to pronounce your name. Greatly appreciated. And if I'm mispronouncing your name, please let me know. I think I mispronounced Nicholas Samadio's name. It's supposed to be Samadio. I'm well aware of that, but he's never told me otherwise, and I really, the way I pronounce it is so synonymous with the greatest moment on this channel that I never wanted to change the way I pronounce it. But hey, Nicholas, if you're watching and you want me to pronounce it a different way, please let me know. I will do so. But he's never said anything about it, so I'm sure he's fine with it. Either way, I was about to say, Renan Isip here, number 52 machine. If you remember when we did the 1,000th race at Twin Ring Motegi back in October, Herjel Arvinaldo stepped out of his ride to allow Renan Isip drive the number 28 machine in that event. So Renan Isip, this is going to be his second start once we get to Homestead again next week for the first race of the season. He's driving for Herjel's team here, number 52 machine, and not only that, he's from the Philippines, so he's in the absolute perfect car, the Philippine car. I'm sorry, Herjel. This car is sponsored by the Philippine Department of Tourism. That's the official sponsor of the car, the Philippine Department of Tourism car. I want to get it right for you, but definitely excited to see what Renan Isip does. He did a good job, as far as I know, in that 1,000th race, so definitely a lot of potential here. Roberto Crown Jr. I want to say Robert for some reason, but it's Roberto Crown Jr. in the number 72, teammate to Colin Teague, another rookie here. He did run in the Christmas Eve 500, so not an official true rookie to Napa Fan, but he is excited to be in this series. He's claimed this is the biggest series that he's in, so hey, we'll try to live up to that here in the Turkey Hill National Series season number 6. But Roberto Crown Jr. there in the number 72, driving for Ryan Racing, teammate to Colin Teague at Ryan Benjamin's organization. This is probably the least experienced team on the grid. This and Prince Racing are pretty inexperienced, but like I said, a lot of those first-timers do very well when we get to these races. This is a guy who's not a first-timer. My good friend Micah Knapp, my first ever friend on YouTube, driving number 67 for Smith Motorsports, going to be a teammate to RJ Bishop and Priya McShane at the Smith Motorsports organization. Definitely looking forward to see how this team rolls in 2021, especially with a veteran driver in Micah Knapp behind the wheel of one of their machines. Obviously, Micah Knapp ran this season, or should I say this series, in season number 4 back in 2018, so we'll have to see what he can bring to the table this season in 2021. Dennis Stryker, first career Napa Fan start, going to be next week at Homestead, driving the number 10 for Angel Racing, teammate to Brayden Perez and Joshua Harrison. And he's in the number 10 machine this season. Don't know much about this guy either, but a lot of potential there behind the wheel of the number 10 machine. I'm going to take a quick break from my announcing and let you guys focus on somebody here. Who is it? Who are we going to focus on here? Let's focus on Marty Johnson. I'll be back in just a second, but enjoy Marty Johnson going around the racetrack here in Preseason Thunder. And we are back. We never left, but I am back. I'm here to tell you about Stephen Colin, making his first ever series start on Napa Fan. He's made a couple starts before in the past, not too many, but he'll be driving for NS Racing this year, teammate to Ben Crouch and Noah Clifton. Definitely intrigued to see what he brings to the table in 2021. A lot of these newer drivers just don't know, what to talk about. But we do know they're going to be good this season, and we're definitely intrigued to see how it all goes down for those drivers. And number 36, you're coming down the pit lane. This is Ben Grorich and the number 36 teammate to Dan Park at the American Motorsports organization. Another one of these guys, we just don't know where the potential might come from these guys, but like we've seen in the past, a lot of these first-timers tend to do very well in these new series. But this is not a new series, but when they start in, they usually jump right out of the gate. You know what I mean. We've said it many times before. A lot of drivers have won in their first career NAPA fan start. A lot of potential for that to happen next Saturday night, including with this guy, Ian Siegel. First career NAPA fan start going to be next Saturday night for Prince Racing. Like I mentioned, that Prince Racing organization, very young in terms of experience. We're just going to have to see what they can do when they hit the racetrack next Saturday night in the AutoNation 300. Trying to go through here, see if we missed anybody. I do believe, though, that we have probably hit everyone on the racetrack, so that's good. We've already gone through all the drivers. There's not as much to talk about with a lot of these guys because they don't have as much experience on Napa Fan, but at the same point in time, it is going to be really fun watching these guys battle it out across a 32 race season for this Turkey Hill National Series Championship. And of course, keep in mind, it's a strict points championship for these guys. None of these guys, are going to be out of contention until they have fallen out on the points too much. Everyone has a chance pretty much that whole way through. You just got to be consistent as each race counts towards that championship. A little bit different in NOFSRL Cup, as you got to be top 10 in points, a couple of wild cards involved for the chase. But here, not exactly the way it rolls. Everyone's got that opportunity heading into that final race, given that they're within 40 points of the points leader. But once we get past 31 races, only a few guys who are within 40 points of the points leader, so gonna be interesting. See how it all plays out here in the NOFSRL Turkey Hill National Series, season number 6. With that all out of the way, you may have noticed something about a few of these cars. Obviously, you guys saw when we did the signups in the Discord only. If you're wondering where those signups were and you didn't see them or anything like that, we do them specifically in the Discord now, as I mentioned earlier. So if you haven't joined the Discord yet, highly recommend you do so. Click the link in the description for that. It's where all the information essentially goes now for the Turkey Hill National Series and the NOFSRL Cup Series, where we keep all the news and stuff for it. Not much news at this point. We're just ready to get the season started, but definitely recommend checking all that out if you want to know more about the NOFSRL. But you may have noticed that a few of these cars have quarter panel numbers. It's the first time we're trying this out, and it kind of came around when NASCAR did the slid back numbers for the All-Star race. Our good friend Matt Tuck, who runs the Body Armor Cup Series, was like, yo, we're going slid back numbers next season. And he did. Definitely recommend checking out the Body Armor Cup Series. They're already in their season. Like I mentioned, their next race is going to be at Homestead next weekend after the Meliolo Smooth Fest, so highly recommend you check that out. But then I'm like, I'm going to try, doing slid back numbers in Cup. That didn't work out too well. I didn't like, doing the idea of essentially copying Matt, and only a few teams were electing to do that. But there were more teams here in the Turkey Hill National Series that wanted to go quarter panel numbers. And this mod works very well with quarter panel numbers. It doesn't work as well to do quarter panel numbers on the NOFSRL Cup Series side because the quarter panel is much smaller on those Cup cars. But here in the Turkey Hill National Series, those quarter panels are plenty big enough for us to put a number there. And as you can see, we have a lot of them that have that quarter panel number here for the Turkey Hill National Series. Number 82 there for Prince Racing, Blake Parker. He's got a quarter panel number. All the Velocitar cars have quarter panel numbers. Of course, Body Armor's on 4 of these cars. We got my team, number 79 to Julio Cesar's got the Body Armor car, and then every Velocitar car has Body Armor as their sponsor. So definitely a lot of Body Armor influence here in the Turkey Hill National Series. Of course, Matt Dalio is going to be driving a Body Armor car in select races in the NOFSRL Cup Series. But I think it went very well, and I'm thinking, obviously next season, we have not even started season number 6 yet here in the Turkey Hill National Series. But I definitely would like, and I know not everyone likes those quarter panel numbers. There's a lot of strong opinions on where the number is placed on these machines. But I have considered for season 7. given that a Season 7 does happen, who knows, but we'll take it one step at a time. But, assuming that we do a Season 7, possibly mandating these quarter panel numbers. Now, obviously, I know a lot of you guys are probably in the chat right now going, no, don't do that, flipping out. But, like I said, I feel like, and you may notice some of these schemes here, especially schemes that kind of got transferred over from last year, there's a lot of empty space on the side there where we have the number. This body style in particular, it does not work in Cup. But for these Turkey Hill National Series machines, the quarter panel number works a lot better, in my opinion, than the traditional door number. So, like I said, it's just an early thought. We're a long ways until 2022, but we're just going to have to see how that all goes down. Obviously, I feel like a lot of these quarter panel number machines, especially the ones on Smith Motorsports, turned out very well. Here's Micah Knapp in one of those quarter panel number machines, and Elijah Gordon as well in a quarter panel number machine. They both look excellent. And you may also notice we got a Honda team here. That's the one Honda team that we have. That's actually the base fourth car in this mod. It's not a Dodge, it's a Honda. Of course, last season there was only one Dodge team. They folded. Hamill Racing Enterprises switched over to Honda this season. Only 2 Hondas in the 6th season of the Turkey Hill National Series. I have no clue, if this will translate into a Honda being in NOFSRL Cup in 2022. Too far out to determine, but we got Hondas this season, and definitely like the way these Hondas look for Hamill Racing Enterprises. Of course, Derek Hamill, all-time winningest driver, all-time winningest owner, on Napa Fan. He said there's an alternate universe out there where he is the all-time winningest driver on Napa Fan, so we'll just have to see, but he is the all-time winningest owner in this universe, and he's got it by 12 races on myself, and then I got 6 races on everybody else. So he's got 21 races on the rest of the field, essentially, if you exclude me. This guy is insane. He's won every single season, every single series, I should say, he's won in as an owner. And he's got multiple wins in every single series that I run here with custom teams. Fastest driver here in Preseason Thunder is Isaac Nichols in the number 37. No surprise to see him. Justin Zeidel, Scott Upton, Landon Smith Jr. First rookie to the series, essentially. Roberto Crown Jr. there in the number 72, running 5th fastest. Of course, Ashland Boyd is quick. Dustin Davis, a lot of experience in the Body Armor Cup Series, is quick. Declan Wellington Turner in the championship-winning car is quick. Julio Cesar, obviously a very experienced driver, 9th fastest, and then RJ Bishop rounds out the top 10. Will Parrish, rookie driver, 11th quickest. Stephen Colin is 12th. Colin Teague is 13th. Priya McShane, 14th quickest. Ian Siegel, 15th quickest, 32 machine. That car driven by Dan Park is 16th quickest. BB Ruiz here in the number 98 is 17th quickest. Noah Clifton, 18th quickest. The number 27 machine, that driven by Mitchell Collins, is 19th quickest. And Aiden McCrow is 20th fastest so far here in Preseason Thunder. Number 82, Blake Parker, is 21st quickest. Number 62 of Christian Vargas is 22nd quickest. Number 53, Marty Johnson, 23rd fastest. Number 35 of Elijah Gordon is 24th fastest. Joey Hightower next in line, 25th fastest, and number 25. Andrew Williams, 26th fastest. Brayden Perez, 27th fastest. 48 of Joshua Harrison, 28th fastest. Dennis Stryker, 29th fastest. Renan Esip, 30th fastest. Josh Williamson, 31st fastest. John Andrews, 32nd fastest. 36 of Ben Grorich, 33rd fastest. 21 machine of Luke Rainey is 34th quickest. The 44 machine, I should say, of Ben Crouch is 35th quickest. 54 of Trey Bartow, 36th quickest. The number 7 of Daniel Bouchard is 37th quickest. Micah Knapp is 38th quickest. Audra Baranowskis is 39th quickest. And Ethan Farley, the slowest so far. In a session that will have no translation into the regular season at all. So none of this means anything. We just wanted to get used to the drivers and showcase everybody. And too bad I couldn't get a co-commentator for this. It's been a really busy and emotional week. No, not emotional in a bad way. It's been weird. But yeah, I haven't really had time between school, and it's just been a mess. And here I am, 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon doing this because I just couldn't do it any time else. And most of y'all are in work or school during that time. So, yeah, I'm all alone right now. But hey, it's okay. We'll try to get someone in. We'll get someone in for Cup, no doubt about it. And obviously, once we begin next weekend with the real stuff, we'll have some great co-commentators in the booth to join me, to give me a break and to give me an opportunity to get all the mucus out of my throat and to drink a little bit of water because I'm struggling a little bit right now with that. Either way, 10 minutes remaining here in Preseason Thunder for the Turkey Hill National Series, and then we'll get to the NOFSRL Cup Series Preseason Thunder testing and talk about the main series here on AG Racing, which we are very excited to begin here next weekend with the Mellow Yellow Smooth Fest. Definitely excited about this season, no doubt about it. Obviously, we got all the bells and whistles this season, as well as you saw at the top of the show with the free cam. We're going to use that for the intros, of course, but we're not going to do that at any point during the race. It does mess with the camera angles on certain tracks, especially this one. You see those palm trees and the little stand that holds the cameraman a little bit more when you have free cam turned on with the TV1 angle for some reason, so we can't have free cam turned on when we actually record. That angle you saw at the top of the show was in post, so that's what we got to do. A lot of editing going to be going on throughout a lot of these races, but hey, you know what? I know you guys enjoy them. Love making you guys' day with these races. I know you folks really enjoy watching these cars go in circles, especially since a lot of you guys are technically behind the wheel, so definitely intrigued to see how it all goes down. And especially, too, Turkey Hill National Series is kind of fun. You guys get to run a full season, battle for a championship with guys, who are around your level. Well, maybe not all around your level. You got Elijah Gorham, 2-time Cup champion there, and also Trey Bartow, who's won a championship in the Turkey Hill National Series before. But beyond that, all you guys get that opportunity to run in Cup as well with the Turkey Hill Hot Seat program, and if you run well, you win a race, you're going to be attempting next week's Cup race. That's just all there is to it. It is tough to get into a Cup race, but once you do get that opportunity, we had one of the guys win a Cup race last year with Carter Friesen. Friesen's not running this season, but hey, it is very possible that one of these guys could end up getting a Cup win this season. Elijah Gordon could end up back in Cup and end up winning a race over there. Very possible that could happen. We're just going to have to see how it all goes down. There's more races this year. 32 races here in Turkey Hill National, 34 in Cup. So much can happen in 2021 here for these guys, and just so much potential for so many different drivers in staking their name in history here in the NOFSRL. Obviously, too, NOFSRL really blew up last year in more ways than one. Thankfully, the bad side of that has kind of gone away, and now we're left with a lot of exciting things to bring your way in 2021, and we hope you all enjoy it. And like I said, join the NOFSRL Discord for more information. That's where we keep everything organized for everything, and I try to keep things nice and friendly in there, too. I run that server. You hold me 100% responsible for anything that happens in there, so please, if you ever have any concerns with that server, please come to me privately, and I will do my best to fix it. I'm still a human being, I'm still an idiot, but I still try to do my best, and hopefully it works out pretty well here in 2021 for us. But it worked out well last year with a few quirks, got past that, and we're looking forward to 2021 here in the NOFSRL. So much to look forward to. So much has already started this year for the NOFSRL. I ran a couple truck races this year, but this is essentially my beginning of 2021 for the NOFSRL. Like I mentioned, Matt's already started the Body Armor Cup Series. Ethan's already doing All-State Super Speedway Series. Trey did the 2.4 Hours of Daytona last weekend, which, by the way, tomorrow, Rolex 24 begins, 3:40 p.m. on NBC. I'm looking forward to that a lot. That's one of my favorite events of the year. And that means racing's just around the corner for everybody else. And we've got the Super Bowl. Not many people care about that because it's Brady Mahomes, and everyone hates Brady. But then after that, of course, Speed Weeks in real life, Speed Weeks in NOFSRL. Just so much to look forward to, and I'm just blessed to be here. Thank you guys so much for all you guys do, and you're not even doing much. You're just enjoying these races along with me, but I greatly appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to real life stuff coming back too. As dumb as NASCAR is, I still love the heck out of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing real life racing as well. But either way, We're almost done here for Turkey Hill National Series Preseason Thunder. Take a quick break and then move on to the NOFSRL Cup Series Preseason Thunder session. And we got a lot of big names in NOFSRL Cup Series this year. That's when we're going to bring out the big guns in just a moment. We got a couple big guns in this series, of course, with Bartow and Elijah Gordon, but all the other big guns are still in Cup, and we're excited to see what they bring to the table in 2021. It's going to be fun to see those Cup guys finally on the racetrack here on Napa Fan. And I mentioned two-time Cup champion Elijah Gordon. As far as I know, Elijah Gordon's the only Cup champion running this season in the Turkey Hill National Series, and Trey Bartow's the only past champion of the Turkey Hill National Series running this season. He won the championship 5 years ago almost. I mean, by the time we finished the season out, I think it would have been close to 5 years since he had last won the Turkey Hill Series championship in 2016. That was season number 3. As Will Parrish has just gone third quickest. Not that it means anything. We will have a separate qualifying session for these guys next week anyway. So, just before the Smooth Fest, we'll set the starting lineup for the Auto Nation 300 in the Turkey Hill National Series. Part of me actually did for a second think this could be our qualifying session, but nah, it's just a preseason Thunder session. It doesn't mean anything. We're just getting to know the drivers, getting excited for everything, talking a little Turkey Hill National Series NOFSRL action. It would be a lot more fun if I had a co-commentator, but y'all got lives, and I understand that. So, we'll get there for Cup. We'll have somebody for Cup, no doubt about it. And then, of course, next weekend, we start right in with the racing with a Mellow Yellow Smooth Fest right here from Homestead. And then, of course, Turkey Hill National Series Saturday night here from the Homestead Miami Speedway with the Auto Nation 300. So much to look forward to next weekend. This weekend, all the weekends. We're going to have something on the channel every weekend until the end of October, early November. I'm not going to give myself a break. But granted, there will be times where I only post one race a week, so I'm not going to outdo myself here, you know. I take it easy, you know. I enjoy this stuff a lot. I really do, especially with the custom cars, especially with you guys all, interacting with it. It's just so much fun. See you guys enjoy it. Sometimes you don't enjoy it. I know Fitzy's going to probably say angry a few times throughout the year, but hey, I'm glad he does. It's good old Fitzy. What you going to do about it, you know? A lot of guys in this series with a lot of potential, though. Very strong field in Turkey Hill National. Obviously a few rookies, but I feel like the field is a lot stronger this year in terms of experience on Napa Fan than it was last year. I think a lot of that does have to do with the fact that we did the signups in Discord, and we didn't have that ability for anyone to sign up this year because you had to be in the Discord to sign up. But, guys like Trey Bartow, Elijah Gordon coming in, Marty Johnson coming in, Isaac Nichols moving up here. Great to see him. The EEL racing team is a very intriguing story because you got Baranowskis and Luke Rainey, a couple of guys who have a lot of, prestige in the Haas IndyCar series. They're both, actually, Baranowskis has never won the championship, but she's won the Indianapolis 250. But, Luke Rainey's won the Indy 250. He's won the championship before. Those guys, they're true open-wheel guys here on Napa Fan, and they're both on the same team here in Turkey Hill National, so that's definitely intriguing. Obviously, Daniel Bouchard coming back. That's great to see him back behind a wheel. It's been a long time since he's run here on Napa Fan, but great to see him back. And obviously, Ashland Boyd, a veteran of this series almost. It's almost like his series. John Anders, again, another one of those guys who's been around for a long time. This is kind of his series, too. Kind of like this Elliott Sadler's almost of the NOFSRL, but and then, of course, all those rookies that are coming on board. It's definitely going to be fun to see how it all goes down. Christian Vargas, another one of those guys who ran last season, going to be back this season, and definitely intrigued to see what he brings to the table for Pacific Racing. But just so much potential. Josh Williamson there as well, number 75. Obviously a very, very solid driver. Mitchell Collins as well. We have a lot of guys who kind of made their debut last season in the series who are still here this season. Just such a mixing pot of different talents and different drivers, and they're all going to be on the same racetrack for 32 straight races. It's going to be intriguing to see which one grabs the advantage at the end of it all in November, but that's a long way from now. The finale will be here at Homestead, though. We begin and end the season here at Homestead for the Turkey Hill National Series, so definitely looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. 40 seconds left here in Preseason Thunder. Obviously, it'll add a little bit more time once it's officially done, but nice solid session to get used to everybody here in the Turkey Hill National Series Season number 6. There's Dan Park in the 32, like we mentioned earlier. Going to be interesting to see who wins it all once we get to November. Going to be interesting to see who wins the first race of the season next week here at Homestead, because given it's an eligible driver, whoever wins is going to attempt the Daytona 500 along with 7 other drivers. So lots at stake for the first race of the season. Obviously, it's a points race too. Let's not forget that. First points race of the season for these guys. So we're just going to have to see how it all goes down. There's Joey Hightower in the 25 machine. I don't know. Who do you all think, I should say, going to be good this season? So many guys with capabilities of having a great season here in the Turkey Hill National Series. Just don't know who it's going to end up being, and we'll have to see who makes a name for themselves this season in the 6th season of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill National Series beginning next Saturday night here from Homestead. We're going to see a lot of this during the racing next weekend as well. 3 wide action through the corner. They're going to be slipping and sliding around this place. A great place to open up the season for the Turkey Hill National Series. And, I don't know. We'll have to see how it all goes down. Like I said, with the ratings being equal, you really can't put too much on this preseason Thunder test, because at the end of the day, who knows? Whoever's slowest may end up being the fastest when it's all said and done once we get to the end of the season. That was Ethan Farley. Who knows? That 00 was pretty solid last year with Mitchell Collins behind the wheel. Let's see what Ethan Farley does this season. But you can see the whole results right there. Nichols the fastest with Justin Zeidel, Will Parrish, Scott Upton, and Landon Smith Jr. the top 5 with Aiden McCrow, Roberto Crown Jr., Ashland Boyd, Dustin Davis, and Declan Wellington Turner, the top 10 fastest drivers here in preseason Thunder testing. Like I said, do not put any weight on this at all. This means absolutely nothing to how well you're going to be doing throughout the rest of the season. So, who knows? Trey Bartow was 38th. He won the championship the last time he ran in this series. So, just keep that in mind. He's had a lot of bad luck lately, so maybe that's part of it too. But we'll just have to see how it all goes down. And we'll take a break here. Obviously, you can tell my voice is a little rough. Going to give a little bit of a break to it. And then we will get to NOFSRL Cup Series Preseason Thunder. So sit back, relax. We'll be back in just a moment for Preseason Thunder here from the Homestead Miami Speedway in the NOFSRL Cup Series Season number 10. Congratulations to Isaac Nichols on being the fastest. Like I said, the season will begin next Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with the AutoNation 300 here from Homestead. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in just a moment for NOFSRL Cup Series Preseason Thunder action here from the Homestead Miami Speedway. On September 6, 2020, a champion was crowned once again in the NOFSRL Cup Series by the name of Shane Lake. And now, 4 months later, we're near the beginning of the 10th season in the NOFSRL Cup Series with Shane Lake, the defending champion. But today we begin with preseason Thunder testing to get to know all the drivers that'll be running here in the 10th season of the NOFSRL Cup Series. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, once again from the Homestead Miami Speedway. The Turkey Hill National Series cars are off the racetrack, and now we got the big boys on the course here for preseason Thunder testing from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Just like it is in Turkey Hill National, the session really doesn't mean much. Just want to get to know all the drivers that'll be running this season in the 10th season of the NOFSRL Cup Series. I'm doing alongside Josh Williamson and Justin Zeidel for the call of tonight's broadcast here. And Josh, you are a first-time owner here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. You have a one-car team, the only single-car team this season with Keegan Thompson behind the wheel. How excited are you to, step your foot into this series as an owner for the first time ever?
Well, excited hardly describes it. I was really excited to get this opportunity to be an owner in this, and to have Keegan behind the wheel as well. That's just super cool. So I'm looking forward to having a fantastic season with Keegan. Hopefully, this will work out well.
It definitely is intriguing to see how it will shake out for you guys, but obviously so many other teams that are coming back who have been in the series since Customs began all the way back in 2018, and one of those teams is Zidell Motorsports, and Justin Zidell along with us. I'm not sure if he's on at the moment, but of course the number 7, number 2448, they got the same team as they did from last year, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out for all these guys throughout 2021. And we are excited to begin next weekend with the Meliello Smooth Fest with 28 drivers in the field for the opening exhibition event. We'll go ahead and start with this guy. For my team, I know, but Otter Island Motorsports and Daniel Mcmillan. Dropping number 79, hers Toyota. Of course, Mcmillan has been in the series since season number 6. He has not won a race in the series since season number 7. So he's got one of the longest losing streaks in this series coming into season number 10. We'll have to see what he can do with that, but a 5-season veteran here to the NOFSRL Cup Series and back again in his traditional 79 ride. Of course, the whole Otter Island team is the same as it was last year. There's Jesse Turner in the number 77. Of course, Jesse Turner, the first ever winner on Napa Fan, won the Daytona 500 back in season number 1 and still going strong in this number 77 machine. And then in the middle there, we mentioned the long losing streak. Well, Tristan Allen has been in this series since the beginning of Season 3 and is yet to go to victory lane in a points-paying race, driving for Father Fruit Motorsports this season. A lot of potential for him to finally, hopefully, step into the body armor victory lane here in the 2021 season. And he almost didn't even get this ride, but great to see him back in the series and run at it one more time to try to get that first career win in the NOFSRL Cup Series. There's Nathan Stapleton there, number 97 machine. And he almost retired at the end of season number 9, but a deal came together with Noah Clifton to form NS Blackout Racing. So NS Racing and Trans-Tasman Racing merged and became NS Blackout Racing, and the 3-car operation now for this team with Joe Rutkowski and Herjo Larvin Alonso, the teammates to Nathan Stapleton. Definitely intrigued to see what these guys do. They seem to have a very strong program, and considering Joe Rutkowski won the Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship not too long ago here at the Homestead Miami Speedway, you imagine that those guys have a pretty strong year there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Herjo Larvin Alonso over on that team too. Kind of a chaotic good driver, I'd say. He's kind of a low-key driver from what I remember last season, but he got 2 wins, including one in thrilling fashion at the Nashville Super Speedway over Cody Sill. And he's back for another season of NOFSRL Cup competition and looking to maybe improve on his stats from last season now with NS Blackout Motorsports.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what he can do this season for that NS Blackout Motorsports team. And there he is coming off the pit lane there in the number 39 machine. Of course, Hergel owning a team in Turkey Hill National as well, and he wants to become an owner here in Cup, but obviously I think he feels like there is a lot of unfinished business that he has yet to finish here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, so we're going to have to see how it all goes down for him in the number 39 machine. But Hergel Larvin Alonso joining forces with Nathan Stapleton, Noah Clifton. That team was pretty solid last year. They had Wyatt Quayle and Mitchell Henderson in their organization. Mitchell Henderson had a pretty solid run. He retired to allow Stuart Grant to own the team, which we'll get to in a second, and Wyatt Quayle won a race at Bristol, but now they really brought out the big guns of Alonso being a 9-season veteran, Stapleton being a 4-season veteran, and bringing in the Turkey Hill Truck Series champion of Joe Rutkowski. First time he will have ever run here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Definitely excited, and Justin, if you're with us, I know you know Joe very well. How excited are you to have Joe Rutkowski finally in the NOFSRL Cup Series? I don't think Justin is quite with us yet. But how about you, Josh? How do you feel about Joe Rutkowski being in the Cup Series this year? Definitely a huge name that has never run before in the top series in Napa Fan. How well do you think he's going to do this season there at NS Blackout Racing?
He could very well surprise us and just break out this season. It's not entirely out of the question. We've had the last couple seasons rookie champions. I'm not saying Rutkowski is going to go and win the championship or anything. He might, though. He could surprise me and do that. But I see him picking up at least one win throughout the course of the season, maybe having at least a top 20 finish in the points, but definitely a foundation to build on as the seasons go on here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. Looking for great stuff, maybe not this season, but definitely in the future for Joe Rakowski.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what he can do in the number 47 machine. Definitely looking forward to it. But either way, got a lot of other guys that we're looking forward to this season here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, including Cody Sill once again. And if I'm not mistaken, Cody Sill has won a race in every season of running in the NOFSRL Cup Series since he began back in season number 6. But he'll be joining the newly formed Buck Racing, and this is a team that kind of came from one of the teams from last year, kind of merged to its own thing. We got Cody Sill, Ethan Lewis, and Brett Sierra on this organization for 2021. Chase Buck, the owner of this team. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down for these guys with a completely new program, but with some guys who have a lot of experience, especially Cody Sill. Cody Sill essentially leading this team here for Buck Racing, but Cody Sill there, number 37 machine, has driven the number 37 since season number 7, since Customs began, so that's his number right there, and got a nice Blue Angels scheme right there. They'll be running full-time this season. And check in on the other guys at Buck Racing. Number 11 machine there of Ethan Lewis. Of course, he ran the back half of last season in the number 6 machine. And he moves over from Angel Racing to the newly formed Buck Racing for this season. Ethan Lewis along with Brett Sierra. None of these guys are technically rookies. All 3 of them are going to be in the NOFSRL, or should I say in the Smoothfest, coming up next Friday. How well do you think those guys are going to do, considering that they do have a lot of experience on that team?
I would say they would do pretty well, but there's going to be a lot of competition in that Smoothfest with 28 cars, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I think they could do very well when race time comes around.
We're going to have to see how it all goes down for Buck Racing. Chase Buck, the owner of this team, definitely intrigued to see how it goes down for those guys. So many drivers to talk about. Don't know where to start. We'll go ahead and touch on Cameron Garlington, winner here at Homestead in Season 3, which also granted him the championship in Season number 3 of the NOFSRL Cup Series. And he is the first driver in American Motorsports history to stay with the team for 2 consecutive seasons. Ran this 34 last year, back in it again this year. He is the only driver returning to American Motorsports for season number 10. But great to have him back. 9-season veteran here at the NOFSRL Cup Series. Won the Daytona 500 in season number 6. He is definitely a very solid driver. We'll touch on the other guys on this team. Number 28 machine, driven by Jordan Lopez. Going to be his second full-time season in the NOFSRL Cup Series, but the first since season number 6. It's been a long time since he's been in this series, but great to have the Portuguese driver back, and definitely intrigued to see what he does in the ride that Gerald and Alonso drove last year and took to victory lane twice last year at Nashville and Kansas. And knowing how Jordan Lopez runs, he won his first career Napa fan race. I think this 28 may be in victory lane a couple of times this season here in the NOFSRL Cup Series.
Could very well, no doubt about that. They've got something good going over there at American Motorsports, so they had a strong season, solid season with that 28, so look for them to be solid once again as we're looking back at some other guys here. How about the 38 of Logan Williams for actually a rookie season now in the NOFSRL Cup Series, so welcome aboard American Motorsports for Logan. Looking to see what he can do this season.
Yeah, and speaking of that Nashville race that Alonso won, Logan Williams was in the hot seat that weekend and almost won the race. But he lost out right at the end when battling with Cody Sill and Gerald and Alonso had the better advantage there. Logan Williams actually led a lot of laps in that event at Nashville. Definitely a lot to look forward to when we get back to Nashville for Logan Williams, see if he can regain that momentum. But like Josh said, he's going to be full-time this season, number 38. Definitely one of those rookies that I'm very intrigued to see how he runs. And speaking of rookies, we got the Turkey Hill National Series champion coming back aboard here. And first time he's going to be running here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. It's Trey Smith in the number 92. Replacing Reagan Whitlock here in this ride. The other 2 drivers the same here at Full Frontal Motorsports with Eli Bright and Ryan Durrani. But they welcome Turkey Hill National Series champion Trey Smith to the team. And Kukulon, last time we had, the Turkey Hill Series 1 year, and the next year he had the Cup Series, that was Sebastian Kukulon, and Kukulon did pretty well in his rookie season here in the Cup Series. Do you think Trey Smith's going to have a good season this year, knowing all the success he had in the Strict Points Championship of the Turkey Hill National Series last year? And not only that, he's in a ride that made the chase last year as well.
I would say so. He's bringing a lot of experience from the Turkey Hill National Series. Although we're not running strict points here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, we do have that chase format. Trey Smith, I think, would have a very good chance of maybe not. I don't think he's winning the championship, but he might. Again, I'm not going to say he won't, but he might. We'll see. But I could.
You just don't know with equal ratings. You just never know.
Exactly right. You never know. But I could definitely see him contending for a chase spot. If not making it, definitely contending for at least a wild card. Maybe he makes it in on points. We'll just have to see what that 92 team does.
And here's another guy who had a very strong season last year. Ryan Durrani made the chase in this number 68 machine. Didn't win a race. As a matter of fact, Full Frontal Motorsports as a whole did not even win a race last season, but they had 2 drivers in the chase, including Ryan Durrani there in the number 68. Great to have him back, and I'm sure he's excited to get back behind the wheel. Lots of times you don't win in your first season. That second season is always a strong one for you, and Durrani with a good team around him with a lot of possibility, a lot of opportunity, I should say, at getting a race victory and contending for that championship once again. Then there's Eli Bright, 3rd season here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, driving the number 33 machine. This used to be the SunTrust car, SunTrust. They merged with BB&T, I should say, and they became Truist, so a new sponsor on this car for 2021. But a very nice purple scheme there for Eli Bright here in 2021, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Eli Bright can do. As far as I know, Bright's still going for his first career Cup Series win as well, but I feel like there's a lot of potential on this team here in 2021. We'll talk about Zidell Motorsports. I don't think Justin's going to make it, unfortunately, as unfortunately he's been having some connection issues on his end, and we'll try to get Justin in for a few calls throughout the season, but we wish Justin the best with all of that. But we'll talk about his team right here, and it's the same as it was last year, and we have a couple of teams, this Otter Island Motorsports in particular, that are the exact same organization from last year. How well do you think that's going to benefit teams like Zidell and Otter Island heading in to the 2021 season, knowing that all their drivers are the same from last year?
Well, as you said earlier, with equal ratings, you never know, but it's good to have stability with these teams to be able to build around the drivers and the teams to have what am I thinking of here? Well, they're able to work. They're able to work well together. I guess chemistry is the word I'm trying to say. So, as the more experience they have, the better chemistry they develop over time. So, I would definitely say that they ideally on paper would have an advantage for the for this season here, the NOFSRL Cup Series, but we'll just have to see what goes down.
And they're a very solid organization too. Fisher G won in Martinsville last year and made it into the chase. Had a great season in his sophomore campaign last year, and obviously did very well in the trucks again. Could not win the championship this year, just barely missed out on it, but definitely a very solid driver there driving for Zidell Motorsports. And speaking of solid, you know this guy, Nicholas Samadio, Mr. Edge himself, back again at Zidell Motorsports. He's been with this team since Customs began in Season 7. And it's been his home there, number 48 Mountain Dew Chevrolet. And obviously, it's always exciting when Nicholas Samadio is up front, and this, of course, is home racetrack as well. So we'll have to see what he does in the Smooth Fest next weekend. Maybe he'll get that Smooth Fest win in his hometown. It'll be cool to see that out of Mr. Edge himself. But 8th season for Nicholas Samadio, number 48 machine. Definitely exciting to see what he can do this season. He's never really contended for a championship, but he's always been up front, always had an opportunity. I think this season might be a good one there for Mr. Edge. And the other driver on this organization, my good personal friend at this point, we live pretty close to each other, Andrew Miller, number 24, back again. His 3rd season with Zidell Motorsports, but his 4th season in the Cup Series overall. In Season 8, he went to Tanker Motorsports. They folded. He came back here, and he's been here ever since, driving the number 24 Red Bull machine. Not only that, grabbed his first win in the NOFSRL Cup Series last February at Auto Club and then backed it up again about a month later at Rockingham. So this guy's a solid driver. There's a lot of potential in Andrew Miller this season driving the number 24.
Yeah, I'm sure Zidell Motorsports is very happy to have Andrew Miller behind the wheel of that 24. As looking at the standings board right now, Hergel Arvin Alonso is actually on the top of it for NS Blackout Motorsports. So what they put in that 39 car, obviously Hergel likes it. He is still the fastest car on the track. I think he's been the fastest car on the track for about the last 12 to 15 minutes now. But about 2 100ths, exactly 2 100ths over the 12 of Brett Sierra in that Buck Racing car. So as much as we're trying to figure out who is who in all these cars, it's also interesting to see who's the fastest out there right now. And while it's not going to probably be indicative of the entire season, it's going to be interesting to see who's brought the stuff, especially as we get into when it becomes time to run the Smooth Fest.
Absolutely, and like I said in Turkey Hill National, this means absolutely nothing to how well these guys are going to run throughout the season, but it definitely does give an idea of who's got the stronger setups and things like that. And let me put it this way, we don't have any of that here. It's all equal ratings, but it's still kind of fun to talk about it as if we did have some sort of rating system, but we don't. And that's what makes it so interesting. You just never know who's going to win on any given weekend, any given Sunday, or for us, more so any given Saturday or Friday night. We'll have a couple of Sunday events, including the Daytona 500, will be run on Sunday this year at noon before the real-life one. So we're definitely excited about that. But most of the races Friday night or Saturday afternoon. But you mentioned there, Hergel Arvin Alonso having a great season so far. I mean, we just started, but hey, top of the charts here in testing. I say that's a great season so far for Hergel Arvin Alonso. How about the all-time winningest owner on Napa Fan? And this is one of those teams that, a lot like American Motorsports, has seen a lot of turnover, with the exception of this 81 machine, driven by Ace Garcia, who has been in this ride since Customs began in season number 7. I'm actually wrong about that. He began in season number 8, excuse me. Ace Garcia started with Friesen Motorsports in season 7, but for the past 3 years, it's going to be his 3rd season in the Hamill Racing Enterprises machine. Ace Garcia in the number 81 has not won a race since season number 7 at Friesen Motorsports. So as far as I know, he's never won with Hamill, which is interesting because Hamill has 27 wins as an owner. I don't think any of them have been from Ace Garcia. But he's got 2 new teammates, 2 rookie teammates this season. Definitely going to make things interesting. Owen Miles, who ran in the Turkey Hill Series last year, driving in the number 22 machine, which used to be driven by Gatlin Downey, and this ride has won the last 2 races of the NOFSRL Cup Series with Downey behind the wheel. And then Mason Brown, driving the number 83, ran in the trucks over the fall, had a good outing in the Hers Dash Series last spring. Definitely a lot of potential out of Mason Brown this season as a rookie to the NOFSRL Cup Series. But he's Derek Hamill. He's the all-time winningest owner, and doesn't seem to matter who is in the ride. They always seem to win. So do you think that's going to happen with Owen Miles, Mason Brown, and Ace Garcia this year?
Well, it could. Owen Miles was fast in the Turkey Hill National Series in 2020. I think he remembered grabbing a couple wins. I remember Kansas, and I think he won Dover, too. And Mason Brown, you mentioned in the Hers Dash Series, I think if I remember right, he finished runner-up to Eric Monaco or somewhere up there in the top 5 in points. So definitely look for them to be strong. And Ace Garcia, with his stability over there, the 81 car over the last couple seasons, especially, Ace is going to be one to look out for, as Hamill Racing Enterprises has actually switched from the Toyotas to Dodges this season. So it's going to be interesting if that even affects the team's performance, whether in a positive light or in a negative light.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. Toyota kind of down this year in terms of car count. They have 7 entries, fewer than any other manufacturer this year. Otter Island Motorsports, of course, sticking with Toyota. They're the only team that ran Toyota last year that is still running Toyota this year. Obviously, speaking of Toyota, since we're on the subject, I'll let you talk about your team. Keegan Thompson, their number 82, one of the Toyota cars, and definitely excited to see what Keegan Thompson does, because the last time the Cup cars ran in that exhibition race in Twin Ring Motegi, he went to victory lane in the 1000th race on Napa Fan.
Yeah, and he's actually had some good luck over in the Cabela's Cup Series too. He won last October at Orlando, so he's definitely got the skill needed behind the wheel to go and get to victory lane. So super excited to have Keegan Thompson behind the wheel of this 82 car for the first season of Trinity River Racing. Gonna be interesting to see what happens. I hope that the equipment's good enough for him and we don't have a bunch of equipment failures and blown motors and stuff like that. I want Keegan to have the best opportunity that he can, and he's definitely a solid enough driver to get up there and potentially get some wins, and even if he doesn't win, battle for it and be a contender, race in and race out all season long. And it is definitely going to be interesting to see what happens, but I am very, very happy to have Keegan Thompson behind the wheel of this 82.
Yeah, and you say you're worried about engine failures and things like that. The way I'm kind of having it in the back of my head is this is like a farm team to Otter Island Motorsports. So you have a technical alliance with us, so you're in good hands. I know we only won twice last year, but I still think you guys are in good hands. And speaking of Toyota again, we have one more Toyota team and a completely new team as well. Stuart Grant, good old Stuart. Finally getting in the owner's ring here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, and 3-car organization for him. And how about the Body Armor Cup Series champion, Brayden Nelson, coming on board here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. He's going to be a rookie to this series, but he's a champion in another NOFSRL Series, and let me tell you, you got to watch out for this number 18 machine of Brayden Nelson. He's going to have a good season. I can sense it, and his brother's also racing as well. We'll get to him in a moment, but Brayden Nelson doesn't have too much experience, ran in the trucks over the fall, so he's got a little bit of experience here in Ampham, but like I said, being a champion in the Body Armor Cup Series, which at this point is essentially the number 2 series in the NOFSRL, only behind this one, it's a pretty big deal, and Brayden Nelson definitely coming in hot this season in the NOFSRL Cup Series. His teammates, though, are also coming in hot and have had a lot of experience here in this series. See if I can locate one of them on the racetrack, and how about Fitzy? All-time winningest driver in the NOFSRL Cup Series with 10 wins. He's driven every single race, but he's not in the number 9 this season. Beast Racing folded at the end of Season 9, and Fitzy moved over to Grattan Racing. And let me tell you, I have a good feeling about this team, especially with the Enter 2003 God himself, the greatest driver in Enter 2003 offline history, joining this organization. He actually broke a rather long losing streak last year with the Gateway win, which was his 10th career win in the series, but I have a good feeling these guys are going to go places here in season number 10.
No question about it. Stewart's going to have something good going with his team there, and having Zachary Fitzwater behind the wheel, it's just going to make it even better for that organization. And of course, Brayden Nelson coming in, Body Armor Cup Series champion. Look for him to do great things, and even don't count out Patrick Smith in the 16, who's coming in for his 4th season of NOFSRL Cup competition. But I just want to, brag about it real quick. Keegan just went to the top of the board there with just over 35 minutes left.
He's got that Otter Island power there in that Trinity River Racing machine. we'll just say it that way, but that's looking good there for you guys there, and the only single car team this year too. So maybe a bit of a disadvantage, but maybe a bit of an advantage. All you got to do is focus on Keegan Thompson. You don't have other teammates to worry about. Every other team this season is at least a 2-car operation, so definitely going to be interesting to see how you guys do. But Patrick Smith, like Josh mentioned, the other driver on this Grattan Racing team, Patrick Smith, a longtime veteran at this point to the NOFSRL Cup Series, going to be his 4th season. His first 2 years were at North State Racing, a very solid organization there. Went to Anderson Racing last year. That team folded. And that kind of almost absorbed in the Grattan Racing in a way, because Patrick Smith remaining in a Toyota, but he's got a Body Armor Cup Series champion, and of course Zachary frickin' Fitzwater joining alongside him on his team. So he's got a lot of good backup in that organization to help him out this year. And obviously Patrick Smith, a veteran himself, so I definitely feel like Patrick Smith should have a pretty solid season in that number 16 machine. That's it for the Toyotas. Just those 7 machines for the Toyota organization this year. But one manufacturer that has really stepped up to the plate is Ford. And we got a lot of Ford teams this year. And they used to be one of the lowest manufacturers, one of the least run manufacturers. Now they may just be the most run manufacturer in the series. We saw Tristan Allen, father of Free Motorsports, switched from Chevrolet to Ford over the offseason. This team, however, Angel Racing, was Ford last season anyway, and now they expanded with 2-car operation. But of any team in this series, this is the one I think that's the least experienced. Christopher Altheby, pretty much a household name in the NOFSRL at this point, going to be his first ever run in the NOFSRL Cup Series. So he's got a bit of experience, but not much at this level. And then, pretty much a true rookie, it's Brandon Nelson's brother, Brock Nelson, in the 51 machine. Obviously, Brandon Nelson has shown himself to be a solid driver over in the Body Armor Cup Series. Do you think that translates within the family? Brock Nelson there in a completely new team, essentially. Of course, Angel Racing ran with just the 1 car last year, but this number 51 team is completely new. I mean, we don't know what to expect out of the 51 of Brock Nelson. How do you think he's going to do this year in that number 51 machine?
Well, it's just as you said, you don't know really what to expect here with a new team and essentially a new driver too, at least at this level. So it is definitely going to be intriguing, to say the least, to see what will happen here with Angel Racing and Brock Nelson in this 51 car. But I am actually really intrigued to see what happens here. He might go on and do good stuff this season. We'll see. There's a lot of guys who could have a really good season here. They just got to get lucky enough, and it's got to be the right place at the right time. I think Brock Nelson could very well be one of those guys to step up to the plate and nail a home run.
Yeah, and speaking of having a good season, here is our defending champion, Shane Lake, number 15, back with the Velocistar Racing organization. The new name is Bartow Tuck Team Velocistar, but it's still Velocistar Racing in my book because that's just how I know them. But Bartow Tuck Team Velocistar coming back again, and they're coming in hot. And let me tell you, they got the past 2 NOFSRL Cup Series champions on their team, and then of course Thomas Troxel won 3 times last year. They also had the most wins last year. Obviously, Shane Lake won 4 times. Troxel won 3 times. Oh boy, this team, you know you're going to be hearing a lot about this team when Matt's in the booth with us all these races. You know, it's going to be the talk of the town most of the season. And obviously, they got the defending champion, Shane Lake, who we want to, definitely wish, our thoughts and prayers to Shane Lake and his family. A couple months ago, unfortunately, his wife, found out that she had leukemia. We're all praying and thinking of you, man, and your family, and you may see the little ribbon on the quarter panel there. I hope that all the schemes for Velocistar Racing throughout the Speed Weeks will have that, the orange ribbon, and yeah, definitely thinking about Shane Lake, but, it's definitely a whirlwind of emotions for Shane Lake coming into the season. Obviously, comes into the champion, but obviously, all that going on personally, it probably feels good to get back in the race car and work around here, because he didn't run trucks over the fall, hasn't been in a race car since he won that championship. How do you think he's going to bounce back? How do you think he's going to do this season, knowing that he's a defending champion? I mean, we saw what Nathan Baird did last year. Nathan Baird almost went back-to-back. Do you think Shane Lake could do that this season?
Oh, sure, yeah. He's gonna have a real opportunity to do that. And remember, Baird was a rookie when he won the championship, just like Lake was, and Baird came back, albeit in a different car. He actually ran, I believe it was his own team last year, and just got that close to repeating as champion. Shane Lake, he's staying with the same team, and again, we've talked about stability a lot this session. Stability right there with the 15 team and Shane Lake. He's got a very good shot of going back-to-back as long as everything goes his way here in Season 10.
It will definitely be unique to see how it translates over from last season. Definitely excited to see what he can do, and definitely excited to see what the rest of the team can do. There's Nathan Baird, who almost beat Shane Lake last year. He actually went into that final race, the points leader. But hey, if you can't beat him, join him, and that's what Nathan Baird did. He was driving for his own team last season and moved over here to the Velocistar Racing organization, and that number 54 is going to be a force to be reckoned with Nathan Baird behind the wheel, no doubt about it. Obviously, very solid driver. Only has won 3 times in the Cup Series, but has been one of the most consistent drivers throughout his entire career here in the Cup Series, and like I said, he almost won that championship last year. I mean, if a couple things went his way at Darlington, he would be the 2-time defending champion of the NOFSRL Cup Series coming into this season. So we're just going to have to see how it all goes down. But if that happened, he probably wouldn't have come to Velocistar Racing. So it's interesting how all those little things work out. And there's Thomas Troxel, who I guess you can almost say is the second banana to the team. But this second banana won 3 races last year. He won the NOFSRL 500, which is one of the biggest races of the season, and won Talladega as well. So that's two pretty big wins there for Troxel. Won Pocono too. Had an excellent season in terms of wins, but maybe not consistency. But now that he's got two of the most consistent drivers in the series on this team, I think that might help out Troxel have a good run this season in the NOFSRL Cup Series.
Yeah, no kidding. He's going to have a lot of experience there and a lot of advice to get from these guys about how to better improve his consistency and take care of the car better, because he was not all that consistent last season, even though he did pick up those 3 wins, and I do see him having another fantastic season. But with those guys around him, Shane Lake and now Nathan Baird, of course, I think he's got a good chance to go up there and possibly win this championship. I honestly think he might be coming in as one of the championship favorites here for Season 10. Honestly, you can say that about that entire Velocity bunch. They are stacked this season with Baird, Lake, and Troxel. But I think I could see all 3 of them making the chase this season and battling for the championship. But Troxel, you might want to watch out for him. He could surprise everyone.
He definitely could. Like I said, 3-time winner last season. Definitely going to have a lot of potential this season. Here's one guy we actually forgot to mention when we were talking about the Toyota drivers. And how do you forget to mention Mr. Matt Dalio, Season 4 champion, who I just realized, obviously I sent out that thing about the hometown and everything. He and Jesse live about an hour apart from each other, or used to at least. Of course, Jesse Turner, hometown of Ransomville, New York, and Matt Daly from Hamilton, Ontario. I mean, those two places about as close as you can get from Canada to the United States, and they're both on the same team. And then you got Daniel Mcmillan, who also lives in New York, so that whole organization is very centralized in that northeast, north central area. But Matt Dalio, how can you forget Mr. Matt Dalio? He won the Smooth Fest last year at Daytona, Season 4 champion. He doesn't have many big wins, though, on his resume. The biggest win probably came at the Brickyard in Season 8 after he broke a long losing streak then. But he's never won the Daytona 500. He has started on the pole for the Daytona 500, was actually the first ever pole sitter for the Daytona 500. We're just going to have to see, though. I mean, obviously, Matt Dalio has been with this organization since it started in Season 7. Same with Turner and Mcmillan. The whole Otter Island team has been the same every single season we've done custom. So definitely intrigued to see what Matt Dalio can do in that number 75. Here is the one and only true rookie to Napa fan starting full-time here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. That's Ben Young in the number 5, and I know Ben Young's had a lot of starts on your end, so I'm going to let you do the talking about this driver.
Well, Ben Young he's about to enter his 3rd season of Cabela's Cup Series competition. He will have been there for all 3. He's one of only, I want to say, like 12 or 13 guys that have done that. Or not even that, actually. It's probably only single digits. But Ben Young, he had a very consistent season. Unfortunately, he fell off late in season number 1. And while he did finish, I believe it was like 17th in points. I know that sounds bad, but he wasn't that very far behind in points because we had 11 drivers contending for the championship that season. But moved on to season 2. He had just an atrocious season with that 6 team. And while he did get a win at Martinsville, he was outside the top 40 in points for the majority of the season. Bounced back later on in the season and kind of recovered, but it's just he fell back so much early on, just could not recover. But he is racing for Noah Clifton's Blackout Motorsports over in the Cabela's Cup Series, and obviously here as well. You said being the only true rookie here on Napa Fan here with Father Fruit Motorsports, I think that he might have the opportunity to turn his bad luck around and probably break through here in 2021.
We're just going to have to see. Tristan Allen, his teammate there at Father Fruit Motorsports, a very interesting organization. You got one of the longest running drivers in the series, and then the only true rookie coming in. And obviously that organization completely flipped from last year. They had Keegan Thompson and Mark Davidson last year. Now they got Ben Young and Tristan Allen. Of course, Tristan Allen being a very good pickup for this team. A lot of experience there. And I think, like I mentioned earlier with Tristan Allen, I think he's had a better organization than he was last year. I think this team's a lot stronger. I mean, obviously this team won the 1,000th race on App Fan, but Mark Davidson took this 95 to the chase last year as well. So definitely a lot of potential there at Father Fruit Motorsports in season number 10. what else? What else we got here? I know there are a couple teams that we've yet to touch on. How about Titan Fury Motorsports? This team has been around since we began, and Brad Stover's been in this 99 since we began Customs in season number 7. And Brad Stover's had a bit of a rough couple of seasons here. He last won in season 8 at Rockingham, and hasn't done too much since then, but we'll just have to see. Titan Fury, they were really good when they first came out of the gate. Past couple of seasons, they've been a little bit lackluster, but they are bringing in one guy to the team now after Trey Bartow retired, who I think's going to really pick this organization up. Of course, they also have Sebastian Kukulon right there, the number 13 machine. Kukulon, the Turkey Hill Series champion from 2018, and has gotten one win in the Cup Series before, I do believe. I think it's only been just that one so far, but definitely a lot of potential for him to get another one this season. But their new driver is 3-time winner from last season, and if we did not have a chase, would have been the champion last year, Samadio in the number 71, the Swedish driver coming aboard the Titan Fury Motorsports organization. And I definitely have a lot of potential because this is Bartow's old ride, renumbered, of course, because Trey Bartow is the only guy who is allowed to drive the number 4 in this series. That is my rule. I'm sorry, we retire the number 4 because he's Trey Bartow. But Samadio, this is Bartow's old team. They didn't particularly have the best run last year. They almost won Hillside. We all know Hillside. And now they got Samadio, who I think is one of those younger drivers who has got a lot of potential. Obviously won 3 times last year with Hamlin Racing Enterprises. How do you think Oskin's going to do on his new team here at Titan Fury Motorsports?
Well, honestly, I didn't really know what to expect from him last season, but he actually won a race I called with you at the Texas Motor Speedway. He won that. That was his first win, and then he won the 600 at Charlotte, and then he backed that up by winning the Sirius XM 400 at Chicagoland and just rolling his way into the chase. And while he did finish, it was either 5th or 6th in points, he did have a very solid season over there in the Hamlin Racing Enterprises stable. Obviously, Mason Brown taking that seat in the 83 now. But over here with the 71 team now for Titan Fury Motorsports, I think Samadio has enough experience now running up front and cutting his way through the field. And I just mentioned, he led one single lap en route to that Chicagoland win, and it was the one that counted the most. So he has plenty of experience slicing his way through the field and getting up to the front. I think Samadio is going to be a dark horse to make the chase this season. Now, there's going to be a lot of them, but Samadio is definitely another one to look out for.
We're definitely excited to see what he can do for Titan Fury Motorsports. Maybe revitalize that organization a little bit heading into 2021. Another Dodge organization, another organization that has been in the Cup Series since Customs began, North State Racing. They're finally expanding to a 3-car organization. They've been 2-car ever since we began with Customs, but now they got a 3rd full-time entry, and this is Nathan Smith in the number 67, who replaced one of the burners in the IndyCar Series last year and did fairly well in that ride. But now he's moving over to a stock car here full-time for a pretty solid organization as well. Teammates, same as last year. LJ Samadio in the 66 and Alexander Rowe in the 25. There's our defending Daytona 500 champion, Alexander Rowe. So North State Racing, another one of those teams where they essentially are the same from last year. They just added on Nathan Smith. But Alexander Rowe, LJ Samadio coming back on. And LJ Samadio's a guy who didn't have the best of seasons last year. But this being his sophomore year, definitely a lot of potential for Samadio, especially with Alexander Rowe, being a teammate. And even LJ Samadio could be a mentor to Nathan Smith at this point because Samadio does have that full season of experience. But what are you expecting with North State Racing this year? Oh, I'm sorry you had to see that. Hey, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is just, like I said, what were you saying about those engines before?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Hey, it's like I said, it's all equal ratings,
Well.
What you gonna do about it? But back to North State Racing. Just forget it happened, all right? It's only a couple $100,000. Back to North State Racing. Obviously, they're essentially the same team as they were from last year with just Nathan Smith on board. How well do you think they're gonna do with the defending Daytona 500 champion on their team?
Well, obviously they're glad to have Alexander Rowe back for his now 5th season of NOFSRL Cup Series competition. And obviously coming off of that Daytona 500 when he's going to try his darndest to improve on the rest of the races this season. And while I think he made the chase last season, he's wanting to do more than that. He's wanting to get up there and contend for the championship. Alexander Rowe is probably he could make the chase again. I would not count that out, but we'll just have to see where North State Racing ends up. But hey, expanding to a 3-car operation with LJ Smedo and Nathan Smith, as you said, it's about time they did it, and congrats to them for doing it. They could be producing great things over there in that North State Racing stable here in 2021.
We're just going to have to see what they can do. Obviously, North State Racing has been around a long time. They know their way around the circuit, so I'd expect some good things out of that team. And I think this may be our final team that we've yet to touch on. And this may just be one of the more interesting teams, especially compared to last season. This is King Art Family Racing, which they have completely flipped over from what they had last year. Obviously, they had John Art for last season, actually. They only had John Art for that one season, but John Art retired. He's gone now from the NOFSRL Cup Series, and they bring in nearly a true rookie to Napa fan, and Nelson Reeves driving this 05 machine. That's going to make things very interesting for this organization, having essentially a true rookie join the organization. However, they got something up their sleeve that I think is really going to benefit them, and that is the guy who has won the last 2 races in the NOFSRL Cup Series, and if he wins the Daytona 500 2 weeks from now, as far as I know, will become the first driver in NOFSRL Cup Series history to win 3 straight races. That is Gatlin Downey, who won at Daytona in the Valvoline 400 and then won the Southern 500 the week after that, and he hasn't lost since, so we'll have to see. This was a good car last year. It made the chase, the driver got suspended, and then Chase Harris took it pretty good, I say, for those final few races. What'll Gatlin Downey do in this ride for 2021? Obviously has all that momentum from when he was at Hamill last year. Do you think he's going to have a good shot at the championship here in 2021?
I would say he's one of many that has a shot at getting that championship. Gatlin Downey in a very fast 40 car, carrying over that momentum for King Art Family Racing from last season, and of course, coming off those 2 wins at the tail end of the season, Valvoline 400 and the Mellow Yellow Southern 500, he could have a chance to go 3 in a row. I wouldn't count that out. Of course, he won the last time we went to Daytona. And, of course, going back to Daytona, he could have a shot to take the 500. But, yeah, I'd say he has a very good shot to not only do that and go for the championship. There's a lot of these guys, I think, that could go for the championship. It's just going to be interesting to see how this season shapes out, because we know, obviously, only one guy can win the championship, but there's so many guys on paper that look like they might have an actual legitimate shot at getting it. I think Gatlin Downey is one of many there in that 40 car, though.
I mean, this season, so many solid names, even from outside of the NOFSRL Cup Series. Like I mentioned, Brandon Nelson, a Body Armor Cup Series champion. But obviously, you bring in those other champions, and Joe Rutkowski and Trey Smith, who won the Turkey Hill and Turkey Hill Truck Series championships, respectively. Those guys have a lot of potential as well. And the past 2 seasons, the champion has been won by a rookie driver. Now, this season, as far as I know, we only have 11 rookies. But, hey, 2 of those rookies are guys who have won championships on Napa fans. So, who's to say what they will do? And you also got, guys, I think, like Christopher Alpheby, Owen Miles, who they've been around for a while, and now they finally have gotten their step in the Cup Series. They've worked their way up to this point, and we saw Nathan Baird do that. He kind of stepped up. He was in the Turkey Hill Series in 2018, winning the Cup the next year, won the championship, and obviously almost won the championship last year as well. So, guys like that have a lot of potential. Logan Williams as well was in the Turkey Hill National Series last year. He's got a good opportunity as well at contending for these wins. But like I said, it's equal ratings. We kind of make that stuff up about, how good this driver is. Shane Lake could easily finish 40th in points this year. Now, obviously, we hope that doesn't happen, but you get the idea, with the equal ratings, anything is possible. Any given Saturday, any of these guys could win. That's what makes it so fun here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. I think we've covered everyone. Didn't talk about Brett Sierra that much. Brett Sierra, a sophomore driver, coming in this season, number 12 machine. I don't think we really even touched on him at all. But Sierra, obviously a very strong driver from last season. A bit of an exile from one of the teams that closed down last year. Got this opportunity here with Buck Racing in the number 12 machine. I'm definitely excited to see what Brett Sierra can do. He didn't win a race last season. He won his dual race last season. But a lot of potential now that he's coming back in as a sophomore driver here in the Cup Series. So we're definitely excited to see what he can do there in the number 12 machine. But I think we've gotten through everyone. I think we've touched on everyone here in the NOFSRL Cup Series season number 10. A lot of veterans returning, and so much potential for all of these guys, because all these drivers are some of the best in NR 2003, and they all have an equal opportunity at winning this NOFSRL Cup Series Championship. And not only that, winning the Daytona 500. I think that's really what's on everyone's mind right now. Obviously, the biggest race of the season, opening up the season. And, who knows how it's all going to shake out there at Daytona when we get there 2 weeks from now. But right now, focus on just getting ready for the season. We got the Smooth Fest next weekend. And then the real stuff begins with Daytona 500 qualifying, single car qualifying Wednesday after the Smooth Fest, just before real life Daytona 500 qualifying. That'll be at 5:30 right here on AG Racing. But, Josh, what are you most looking forward to this season in the NOFSRL Cup Series? Obviously, we've got some new races. A stacked field here, so many new things. We got new graphics, things like that. Maybe not new graphics, but you get my point. A lot of things to look forward to this season, not only here, but in the whole NOFSRL for 2021.
Oh, golly, where do I start? So obviously, I mentioned this at the tail end of the truck race. Owning the team is something I'm looking forward to, and seeing where that goes over the course of the next few months, and even maybe to next year in 2022. I'm also looking forward to being here in the NOFSRL, obviously. I think I mentioned that too. What I am looking forward to very much, though, is the addition, for the first time, to my knowledge, Willow Springs International Raceway to this schedule. And this is a track that before February of 2017, I lived about 45 minutes from, and I passed this track on the highway at some frequency going up towards Rosemond, which is where Willow Springs is. And the site there at Willow Springs International Raceway is just incredible. They've got so many different tracks there. They got a bull ring, they got a dirt track, they got a karting track. They even have a street circuit there. And then, of course, they got the big 2.5-mile road course there. Very fast and very wide turn. A lot of opportunities to pass there on that road course. It's definitely one of the best. And I am definitely looking forward to when we have races on that road course.
Yeah, Turkey Hill National Series going to be there in March, and then Cup and Turkey Hill National going to be there in September. IndyCar is also going to be there in September, a couple weeks before the Cup Series is there. So and it's interesting. We've never run that track before on Napa Fan. I actually ran it in Project Cars 2 in a IndyCar league that I was part of over the summer, and I almost won the race. And I found it out on NR 2003, and it is a good road course. I wouldn't say it's as good as Watkins Glen, but definitely a great find. We're excited for that one. 3 road course races for Cup this year, and Portland is not one of those, so a lot to look forward to on the road course side of things. Road America is coming back. We should have never gotten rid of Road America in the first place. I don't know what the deal was with that decision, but hey, Road America's back, and not only that, Road America's back in real life for Cup Series, so Road America getting a lot of love this year, all across the board, in NOFSRL and in real life, and of course Willow Springs too. We're definitely excited for that race in September for the Cup Series, and obviously when we go there in March. And hey, we're a virtual league, so we're allowed to race there, even though it's California. It's all virtual. We got nothing to worry about there, but we're excited for this season in the NOFSRL Cup Series, no doubt about it. Let's go ahead and show you guys who's fastest. And obviously, Josh pointed it out a moment ago, Keegan Thompson, fastest here in Preseason Thunder. Number 39 ahead, Jalarvin Alonso, Matt Dalio in the 75. Brett Sear, we hardly talked about Brett Sear. There he is, 4th quickest. Nichols, Samadio, Cameron Garlington, Ethan Lewis, Thomas Troxel, Joe Rutkowski, and Ben Young in the top 10. Ryan Durrani, Zachary Fitzwater, LJ Samedo, Shane Lake, Sebastian Kukulon, Logan Williams, Ace Garcia, Eli Bright, Alexander Rowe, Nathan Stapleton ran out the top 20. Nathan Smith, Owen Miles, Andrew Miller, Mason Brown, Nelson Reeves, Fisher G. 92 of Trey Smith, Brad Stover, 16 machine of Patrick Smith, 79 of Daniel Mcmillan, the top 30. Then Cody Sill, Jordan Lopez, Nathan Baird, Sam Askin, Tristan Allen, Jesse Turner, Brock Nelson, Brandon Nelson. Brock Nelson currently faster than his brother. That's interesting. Christopher Alphaby, Gatlin Downey, the top 40, and then the two slowest guys. I'm an idiot. There are only 40 cars in the field because there are only 40 full-time guys. We don't have the part-time guys in. So there are only 40 guys. Gatlin Downey, who's won the last 2 races in the NOFSRL Cup Series, the slowest guy so far. But like I said, this doesn't translate to anything that these guys are going to do throughout the season. It's probably going to be a lot different than what we're seeing here tonight with how well these guys run throughout the season. And like I said, any given Saturday, any given Friday night, any of these guys can win because we do equal ratings here in the NOFSRL Cup Series. And while it may take a little bit away from the realism, it's still fun as heck to watch these guys battle it out, all out, knowing anyone can win at any time.
Yeah, this is not one of those things where you can just flip a coin and guess between a certain set of guys who's going to win on a week-to-week basis. This is more like bingo cards, essentially, but not just one bingo card because you only have 25 spaces on those. Take a couple, and so you have more than enough spaces to work with there because that you're going to need the 42 spaces and then some because we even saw some uncharted guys even run up to the front and even get some wins last season. Carter Friesen won at Boston. Bobo Jones was fast there in the hot seat. I don't think he won a race, but he was fast too. So while we're talking about these full-time guys, I want to watch out for the uncharted guys too. Might have a few come up from the Turkey Hill National Series and surprise these guys and get up there and at least battle for a win like Bobo Jones did, or maybe get up there and actually win a race. It's not entirely unheard of, so that's another thing to look out for.
Yeah, we had, of course, Turkey Hill National Series Preseason Thunder just a moment ago, and we saw the drivers in that series, and as Trey Bartow declined the offer to be part of the hot seat. It disappointed me just a little bit, but, I respect his decision on that one. But we will have Elijah Gordon and Marty Johnson, both of those guys battling, for positions in the hot seat. Isaac Nichols will be doing so, and those are guys who have experience in the Cup Series, who have won races in the Cup Series, and for Elijah Gordon, he's won championships in this series, so it's going to be exciting to see because there's a lot of strong guys who are going to be coming through. Luke Rainey could end up in a seat, and he's won before in this series. Audra Baranowskis, Indianapolis 250 champion. Of course, Luke Rainey's also an Indy 250 champion, so much to look forward to down there in Turkey Hill. They're going to begin their season, of course, like I mentioned earlier on, the day after the Smooth Fest, Saturday night, February 6th here at Homestead, so much to look forward to next weekend. Next weekend's really when it kicks in. Smooth Fest, Turkey Hill National Series, Auto Nation 300 here from Homestead, and then, that Wednesday we begin with Daytona Speed Week. So much to look forward to here in the NOFSRL Cup Series, Turkey Hill National Series. I'm excited for this one. And obviously, you're starting your stuff. Cabela's Cup Series, Body Armor Cup Series has already been rolling strong. Everyone's starting up here. Got Mission Barbecue Cup Series starting up, Trey Series as well. Just so much to look forward to here in the NOFSRL. Like I said, join the Discord for all the information on all the series. I don't think there are any signups that are particularly open at this point anymore. But, hey, if you really do enjoy watching these NO 2003 leagues that we do, definitely recommend checking that out so you can get to know everybody else there. And definitely excited here for 2021. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. As we see side by side going off here into turn 3, Danny Mack going to the inside of Ben Young. Just so you know, this might be a sneak preview of the kind of racing that you're going to see with these guys running around here at Homestead. This is Danny Mack going to the inside of Ben Young. They're still battling there on the track. And while this isn't battling for position, it is interesting to see what these guys, how they race around each other. And we have seen some 3 wide in this session. That's not entirely uncommon here at Homestead Miami Speedway, so be on the lookout for when race time comes around here for the Smooth Fest and other races at Homestead throughout the season. And as we've said before, we're giving Homestead a lot of love this year in 2021.
Yeah, and I keep on mentioning the Smooth Fest, but there's actually going to be a points-paying race here at the end of February. During when Homestead will actually happen. Now, obviously, when Auto Club in real life got canceled, that messed things up a little bit for us here. Homestead was originally going to be the second race of the season, but obviously we want to link it up with real life. If we're running the track, we want to link it up in real life just because, hey, that's what you're going to be seeing in real life that weekend. So we actually moved our Auto Club date because, hey, we can actually race at Auto Club. And we moved that up to the second race of the season after the Daytona 500. So now, after Auto Club, you have Homestead in that third race slot for the VisitFlorida.com 400. Be a lone weekend for the Cup Series. Turkey will take a week off from there because, whoopsie, sorry if you heard that. They will have already run here at Homestead, which will be next weekend. So, but not only that, you may have noticed on one of the signs, you got the Body Armor Championship 500. That will be the finale race in the NOFSRL Cup Series in November. Turkey Hill National and Cup Series coming back to Olmsted to end their seasons off. Darlington was a great place, but we wanted to extend the season out a little bit more, and we want, of course, to have the Southern 500 on Labor Day weekend, so Homestead it is, back as the finale for both Turkey Hill and NOFSRL Cup. Definitely looking forward to that. 34 race season for Cup, a little bit longer than it was last year. Obviously, we're extending that into November, so we're going to have a little bit more racing this year, and we're just intrigued to see who gets it done. It's going to be so many things are going to happen this season. So many guys are going to get race victories. So many storylines are going to happen. I don't know. Will Wide Shane Lake come back again? We'll just have to see. He was definitely there at Hillside last year. Maybe he'll do it again this year at Hillside when we hit there in September. It's going to be fun. We just don't know. That's the fun of doing it. And it all begins next Friday night at 8 with the Mellow Yellow Smooth Fest.
Wide Shane Lake.
You can thank Matt Tuck for that meme. That was, in his mind, the greatest moment of last season. And I think in a lot of people's minds, that was the greatest moment of last season. It is sad that Trey Bartow couldn't win that race because that was his last season last year, and he almost did it. But Shane, I tell you what, man, you deserve that championship after that moment. That race win probably won him the championship because he was able to grab those points ahead of Nathan Baird, who was leading that race. It switched right over because Baird was leading. If Baird had won that race and Shane Lake finished third, I think Nathan Baird would have ended up winning the championship. That race essentially determined the championship later on down the road. And that's the beauty of this, essentially strict points format. Obviously, we have the chase, but the points mean so much for these guys. And, I've definitely voiced my complaints about the real-life playoff system. I know we did run that for the first 6 seasons of this series, but it's so much more fun with strict points. And I think Shane Lake's glad we did that, too, because, hey, he definitely was the most consistent guy in those last 10 races of the season. No doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt. And, of course, don't forget, he also, not only did he have that last turn pass, well, not exactly last turn pass, but last turn pass as far as Green Flag Racing was concerned at Hillside, he had a last turn 11 pass on Matt Dalio just a few races later at Watkins Glen that even further solidified his spot battling for the championship. So I guess we could call this, he's given Nicholas Samadio a run for his money in the Mr. Edge department. Let me just say
who knows? Nicholas Samadio could end up being the guy he ends up nicking out next because Matt Dalio and Trey Bartow are two of the longest running drivers in this series that he did that to. So watch out, Jesse. Jesse Turner's got to watch out, and Fitzwater's got to watch out now. All those veterans got to watch out for Shane Lake because he is coming. And as far as I know, Shane Lake is the oldest driver in the series. So even though it's only his second season, the guy's got a lot of life experience, and I think that definitely comes into play with how he races. We're almost done here for preseason Thunder testing at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Thanks to Josh for joining me, and thanks to Justin as well. He was going to join us. Unfortunately, connection failed on him. He couldn't join us, but hey, I'm sure he's going to have a great season with Nicholas Samadio, Andrew Miller, Fisher, Gene, and it looks like you guys are going to have a good season. I mean, you're the fastest here tonight with Keegan Thompson. Keegan's going to be in that Smooth Fest, so let's have some fun for that one. One of my favorite races to do, obviously, is being the first race of the season, and it's not the Clash, it's not the Shootout, it's the Smooth Fest. You don't find it anywhere else. This is the only Smooth Fest, and it's run in the NOFSRL Cup Series, and that'll be next weekend. right here on AG Racing. As for now, we thank you guys so much for watching. They're the official results of Preseason Thunder. Like I said, it does not translate to how well these guys are going to do in the season, but hey, if it did, watch out for Trinity River Racing. Keegan Thompson, fastest here tonight. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And Brandon Nelson, first time in this Cup car for NOFSRL Cup, still getting used to it. He's the slowest guy. Ethan Farley was the slowest guy at Turkey Hill National, but there's a good chance that those guys could end up sweeping the leg when we get to the season's beginning here in just a couple of weeks. But hey, I'm excited. Final thoughts on this, Josh? Final thoughts on going into the season here for 2021?
You're going to see a lot of good stuff. I'm going to say it. I know you've seen that commercial for the NASCAR Cup Series. This might be the best season ever. Well, I'm just going to come out and say it right now. I think this may give Season 9 a run for its money in the NOFSRL Cup Series. This could be right up there with one of the best seasons ever in the entire NR 2003 community, I think. And
that's a bold statement. I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know, man.
You know what? I'm letting you do the talking with that one. Hey, I'm just glad I'm doing it. I'm blessed to be able to do this with my friends. This is a great thing for me mentally, and I'm just glad to be here. And hey, I'm looking forward to the Smooth Fest next weekend. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a banger of a race. That's all I gotta say. Because it's gonna be right here at Homestead. And if you've seen those Trek races that we've had so far this year, oh boy, watch out. It's gonna be fun. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next weekend. Meliola Smooth Fest, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't you miss it, even if you're not in the race. Don't miss it, because it's a fun race. We have a lot of fun with that one, and it opens up the season. It starts that fire that runs all the way to the end of the season in early November, so hope you all enjoy it. We're back, guys. NOFSRL 2021 is here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations, Keegan Thompson, fastest here in preseason Thunder testing. Not that it means anything. I'm looking pretty strong this season for that number 82 team. And we'll see you guys next weekend for the Meliola Smooth Fest season number 10. On behalf of Josh Williamson, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.